Hello, this is Mr. Joe. As we celebrate this Thanksgiving weekend, there is one family that doesn't have anything to celebrate. The family of the young woman, the National Guards woman, who was killed by an Afghan, I don't know what, whether he was a naturalized citizen, an immigrant. The news reports are kind of sketchy on this detail. Now, Donald Trump wants to appear to be a strong, decisive leader, as one who can handle the problems of the nation and cope with crime. However, one, at least I, can't help but feel that this is all wrong. Why does he need the National Guard to cope with a crime problem? That's the job of the police. Unfortunately, as president, Donald Trump cannot fire the police chief or hire new policemen. So, in order to appear as someone, and he does, I'm not saying he doesn't, to tackle the crime problem, he's having the National Guard in different cities, which, as we've seen now, is all wrong. Unfortunately, our nation is in a mess. And even if a police department is corrupt or inefficient, it seems very difficult unless the people in that city demand change or vote for change. It's just not going to happen. But this never should have happened. Uh, Today is Friday, November 28th, 2025, as we head into the Thanksgiving weekend. And I don't know what the condition of there was a male National Guardsman shot too. Whether he's going to survive, if he's in critical condition, nobody knows as yet. But one can't help but feel that Donald Trump is exploiting this situation for political purposes. An Afghan man shot a National Guards woman. That's highly unusual that a foreigner would open fire, but we've been at war for the past, I don't know how long, 20, 23 years in Afghanistan. And it kind of shocked me once I began researching the history of the United States. The history is there, but few people connect the dots. We've been in war ever since the founding of our country in 1776, despite the warning of the founding fathers not to get involved in foreign entanglements. We've been in war every decade of every century that the United States has been in existence, and no other country, I believe, has that record. England has been in a lot of wars, France, but none to the extent. At the beginning of 1900, we were involved in the Spanish American War. Around 1915 to 1917, we were involved in World War I. Then World War II was perhaps the only necessary war of the 20th century we had to be involved in. Right after that, there was the Korean War. And I was kind of shocked. I always thought I had three uncles who enlisted to serve in the Navy. I always thought they were in World War II, but they weren't. Actually, I had four uncles. They enlisted in the Navy, not in the Army. Right after World War II, the Korean War. This is all by design. We have a military industrial complex that wants to get involved in war so we can plunder the riches of other nations. Then, right after the Korean War, almost without missing a beat, we're in the Vietnam War, 1990s. George Bush Sr. bombs Iraq and puts Saddam Hussein on notice. About 13 years later, we invade Iraq again because of oil. The American government and others were picked off at Hussein because he was artificially manipulating the price of oil. And we shouldn't be, like I says, if we weren't involved in other countries, these things would take care of themselves, but they're not. And it's long been my contention that we especially shouldn't be involved in the Israeli-Arabic War. This is a colossal mistake on the part of America and the American people, and I condemn all religious leaders who say it's our job to support Israel. We're not going to have peace in the Middle East until two conditions are met, and the Arabs have repeatedly stated this. Number one, that Israel return to its pre-1967 borders, and number two, that East Palestine is made the capital of a Palestinian state for the Palestinian people. But Israel rejects all these demands because the United States, its big brother, so to speak, anytime they get in trouble, they can buy unlimited arms. And Donald Trump, foolishly, in my opinion, he had no business bombing the nuclear facilities of Iran. And this is a colossal mistake on our part. And until until enough American people get together and say, let Israel and the Arabs fight themselves, we have no business defending them, or we have no business getting involved in a war. This insane war is going to continue. And now Donald Trump, with this Afghan person, whoever he was, or whether, like I said, I don't know. From the news media, I couldn't find out if he's natural citizen, an immigrant, or uh, here illegally or what. The news media is kind of sketchy. You get contradictory reports in the beginning, but this seems like he's using the National Guard for political purposes. And now, with this new incident, it's going to justify a longer war in the Mideast, which we shouldn't be involved in. Now, I'm not saying this person who committed murder shouldn't be punished. He should get the death penalty. But Donald Trump has made a mistake. No matter who shot these two National Guardsmen and women, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. The American people have to wake up, and in a future video, I'm going to make recommendations. Number one, we have to stop voting for Democrats. That's death for America. And we have to get away from the Republican Party, too. Until enough Americans vote for a third party, such as Libertarian or someone else, we're not going to have peace in this country. And things just aren't going to be right. There's going to continue to be division. And my next video is going to be about the Democrats, perhaps called an open letter to Democrats. The Democratic Party is death for this country. They offer nothing to anyone, I believe. They want abortions. They want men playing in women's sports under transgenderism. What a man does in his own house, that's his business. But I would like to say they don't have the right to play in women's sports, and the Democrats think they're being clever. Anytime you say something, oppose the Democratic Party, you're a racist and a hater. You say something against a man from Mexico or Spain, you're anti-Spanish or racist. You say something against a woman, you're a misogynist. No matter what you say, you're automatically racist and a hater, which isn't the truth. Uh, they think they're going to silence opposition like this, but everyone recognizes the ploy. But anyway, the tragedy of these National Guardsmen is this never should have happened in the first place. Donald Trump, since the beginning of his term, has made mistake after mistake. First, he's saying he wants Canada as the 51st state. He wants to annex Greenland or take it over. I can't remember his exact language. Now he's declaring war on Venezuela. We're always at war. Donald Trump campaigned on lowering food prices and no new wars, but he's claiming we have to invade Venezuela because of the drug cartels. That's bullshit. A total lie. What they want is control of the oil. And he campaigned on no new wars. He said war never would have broken out in the Ukraine if he was president. Well, what about his promises? He wants to go to war with Venezuela now. And fighting drugs is not a war. A war is a clash between two nations with armed combatants, mainly the Army, Air Force, and Navy. But mostly the Army takes the brunt of the casualties, 7 to 80% casualties in the fighting that's done. But in future videos, anyone watching this, if you're an American, you should write to your congressman and tell them you don't want any war with Venezuela and Israel must talk peace with the Arabs because otherwise this insane situation is going to go on and on. In the 1980s, there was a program called Walker, Texas Ranger. It was a bit hokey. It had karate champion Chuck Norris as a Texas Ranger, but it really was an excuse for him to show off his martial arts skills. But one of them I was shocked to see how propaganda is disseminated in every show, every movie. In one episode of Walker, he was investigating, I don't know, drugs or arms coming in on a foreign ship, and they said Iraq is behind it. Iraq. Iraq would have no reason to ship arms to this country, but please be aware the military establishment and the Democrats and the Republicans, they want constant war. So, on that note, it may be, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be, like I said, sad for some people, but hope you think about what I say. And in future videos, I haven't been on in a while. We have to get away from this two-party system and this war mongering mentality because we're now becoming an aggressor nation. And it just can't continue. We're losing our greatness and we're sinking. Our sun is going down. The greatness that we had is going down with every new war we get involved in. Anyway, that's my video for today. Mr. Joe signing off for now.